Social anxiety is endemic in dementia units, and because of losing memory, dementia residents' confidence can plummet, and as a result of that, they don't want to go to the activities. So if this is the case with your parent, a good idea is, say your mother's a nurse, a good idea is to go to the front desk and say to the charge nurse or the clinical manager, look, is there another dementia resident here who has been a nurse that my mother, who's been newly admitted, can buddy up with? That's the best way. If your mother can befriend another dementia resident, similar career to hers, and they can sit by each other at the activities and hopefully also be at the same meal table together, then that will go a long way to her being able to de-escalate her social anxiety. Because if she has someone with her who she knows, who she's relaxed with, who she's comfortable with, then she can rely on that in a sense, at least initially, to buoy her through all the foreign terrain that no doubt she'll have to navigate coming into a dementia facility. And there's many ways to be able to help reduce the social anxiety. It can more or less be accepted that someone coming into a dementia unit will have social anxiety, except for the very confident residents, of which there are a small percentage, I have to say. But most people coming in are anxious because of their memory problem, of course. That gives anxiety anyway. And then the anxiety of coming into a completely foreign place. Everything's new, everything's strange. They don't know the staff, they don't know the routine. All the residents are strangers. Where's their bedroom? How do they get there? And on it goes. It really takes 2-3 months to settle in. So if with these activities and the social anxiety, to reduce the social anxiety around activities, if the person can make a friend and where it can be garnered or facilitated, if that friendship can be facilitated in some way. As a relative, how you can help with that is coming to the meals. That's a very good idea. Because if, for example, your mother's newfound friend, say she's a nurse, hopefully, and your mother's a nurse, former nurse, if they're both sitting together at the dining table for each meal, then if you come to, say, Sunday lunch and sit down and have a meal with your mother and her newfound friend, you can facilitate the conversation, ask the key questions, get the conversation flowing about how your mother was a nurse. No doubt you'll know about her history, and you can feed that history to her friend, which hopefully she can pick up on as well. And so it's just a facilitation process where there's memory gaps for your mother, you can fill in the conversation as well, which will give her confidence just to be able to spark the liaison, and communication goes a long way for people, especially when they're newly admitted. Once your mother has got an established friendship, say with this nurse, this lady at her table, once she has that established liaison with her, life will be fine. She'll have a friend at the meal tables, she'll have someone to say good morning to, someone to say good night to, someone to watch the TV with and go to, the activities. It just makes all the difference, really, to be able to relax, unwind and settle. I mean, because what happens is that it's not just the environment that's strange and everything about it that gives the anxiety, all the foreign people and the foreign activities and the change of routine. What happens is that internal anxiety, so you've got the external anxiety from what's happening with all the changes, and then you've got your internal anxiety, which can often, when it goes up to high level, end up with the person spinning, racing mind spinning, and even feeling nauseous. So that's a terrible feeling for the person to have. If there's anxious, at the least they're going to have spinning thoughts and tension and anxiety, and at the worst getting up into spinning and even nausea. So whatever the spectrum, the person needs some assistance to be able to adjust and accommodate. And with help from you as the family member and with a friend, hopefully it's enough to enable them to settle And once they start orientating into the place, once they know where their room is and how to get there, and they get help with that, door identification, room practice, lots of direction orientation practice to get to their room. Once they know how to get to their room as well, that helps a lot, because if they're in an activity which they don't like, at least if they know where their room is and they've got orientation to that, then they can leave early. They've got the autonomy and authority to do that. Whereas if they don't know where their room is, if they haven't got that orientation, then they're just stuck for the whole day sometimes until they're taken to bed at night time, except for the meals and toilet rounds. They haven't got the choice as to how they maneuver themselves in the day. So direction orientation is really important for them to be able to find their room easily, with being able to read their name on the door, having the sign up, knowing the way there, and practice runs if needed to keep it up if they lose that ability from time to time, which often happens. So I've written 2 books on all these topics, The Resident's Voice and The Resident's Rise, both from a dementia unit, on Amazon and my website description below. So thank you for your viewing and your likes. I appreciate it.